Good evening, here are tonight's top stories. A pastry maker is granted bail in a robbery case, while a man is remanded to prison for the alleged theft of an iPhone and gold chains. An alleged serial robber is wanted in connection with a double murder, as the Coast Guard rescues 5 crew members from a sinking cargo vessel. Tragedy strikes as a GDF corporal dies following a training session. Additionally, a man is set to face cybercrime charges for alleged child exploitation. In a grim development, 2 men admit to murdering 52-year-old Ninawati Nandalal. Stay tuned for further updates. Please remember to like, share and subscribe to our channel for more news.
Pastry maker granted bail in robbery case. Rafro Peters, a 27-year-old pastry maker from Middle Road, La Penitence, appeared at the Georgetown Magistrates Court on Friday, where she was granted $75,000 bail in connection to a robbery case. Peters made her initial court appearance before Senior Magistrate Clive Nurse, facing a charge of robbery with violence. She pleaded not guilty to the accusation, which alleged that on Monday, at Kroll Street, Georgetown, in the company of others, she forcefully took a gold bangle valued at $235,000 from Victor Daniels, inflicting violence in the process. In defense of her client, Peters' lawyer requested bail in a reasonable sum, highlighting that she is the sole provider for her household and emphasizing that Peters poses no flight risk. Despite objections from the prosecutor based on the severity of the offense, Magistrate Nurse granted bail to Peters, setting it at $75,000. She is slated to return to court on May 24, 2024, for further proceedings. Man remanded to prison for alleged theft of iPhone and gold chains. Mark Young, a 51-year-old resident of Lot 183, East Lane Penitence, Georgetown, found himself remanded to prison on Friday after being charged with simple larceny. Young stands accused of stealing an iPhone and 2 gold chains from the victim, as outlined before Senior Magistrate Clive Nurse. During the hearing, Young maintained his innocence, pleading not guilty to the charge. The alleged incident occurred on April 5, 2024, on Regent Street, Georgetown, where Young purportedly absconded with an iPhone 11 Pro Max valued at $200,000 and 2 gold chains valued at $420,000. Represented by attorney Clyde Ford, Young sought bail, assuring the court of his compliance with any conditions set forth. However, the prosecution opposed bail, citing Young's prior charge of robbery under arms in 2015. Magistrate Nurse, considering the prosecutor's objection, refused bail, leading to Young's remand. The case was adjourned to May 24, 2024, pending further proceedings. Alleged serial robber wanted in connection with double murder. Authorities are seeking 2 individuals, including an alleged serial robber, in connection with the recent murder of 2 minors in Aramu Bakdam, Region 7, Kuyuni Mazaruni. Wanted are 21-year-old Kellen Fredericks, known to frequent Underneming Sandpit, Essequibo Coast, as well as Tushin, East Bank Essequibo, and 19-year-old Romain Henry of Best Road, West Bank Demerara. Henry is also wanted for questioning regarding another murder in 2021 at Underneming Sandpit. Fredericks has been previously sought by law enforcement for his involvement in a series of armed robberies. On March 3, the 2 suspects, masked and armed, fatally shot Zahir Muhammad Sharif, a 50-year-old gold miner from Bidarabo Road, Bartica, Region 7, and Don Van Washington, a 26-year-old porter from Lot 11, 7th Avenue, Bartica, at the Aramu Bakdam, Kuyuni River. The assailants also made off with 102 ounces of raw gold valued at $37 million and 2 licensed firearms, belonging to Sheriff. Recently, 32-year-old Travis Fredericks and his 28-year-old brother, Fernando Fredericks, both residents of Tushin Housing Scheme, East Bank Essequibo, were charged and remanded to prison in connection with the same murders. The duo faces separate charges of being accessories after the fact to the murders. Authorities continue to urge the public to come forward with any information that may assist in locating Kellen Fredericks and Romain Henry. Coast Guard rescues 5 crew members from sinking cargo vessel. In a daring maritime rescue operation, the Guyana Defense Force, GDF, Coast Guard successfully saved 5 crew members from a small cargo ship as it teetered on the brink of sinking in the Atlantic Ocean. The dramatic incident unfolded approximately 5.2 nautical miles off Leonora on the west coast of Demerara, with the GDF swiftly responding to the distress call on Thursday. According to reports from the GDF, the vessel, identified as Amaya and loaded with a cargo of cement and stone, encountered trouble when it began taking on water around 4 o'clock hours that morning. The precarious situation escalated after the vessel had been grounded on a sandbank since approximately 22:30 hours the previous evening. As the crew awaited the opportune moment of high tide to facilitate their departure from the sandbank, rough water conditions exacerbated the situation, causing the vessel to start sinking. Recognizing the urgency of the matter, the crew promptly sought assistance from the Coast Guard. Responding with speed and efficiency, the Coast Guard arrived on the scene and immediately assessed the dire situation. With the vessel rapidly succumbing to the relentless onslaught of water, the Coast Guard executed a meticulously coordinated rescue operation. Despite the challenging circumstances, all 5 crew members were successfully extracted from the sinking vessel and transported to Headquarters Coast Guard, ensuring their safety and well-being. The GDF expressed satisfaction with the outcome of the operation, emphasizing its unwavering commitment to maritime safety and readiness to respond to any emergencies or incidents at sea. GDF Corporal dies following training session. A somber cloud enveloped the Guyana Defense Force, GDF, as Corporal Leroy Tom, 22258 of 2 Infantry Battalion breathed his last on Saturday, mere hours after completing a training session at the Colonel John Clark Military School in Takoma, Upper Burbus River. Residing in Blueberry Hill, Linden, Corporal Tom was enrolled as a student in the Army's Section Commander course. According to a press statement released by the GDF, Corporal Tom expressed feelings of being unwell during a routine training event. Swift action was taken, and he was promptly escorted to the medical center, where he received immediate attention from a registered nurse and medics. Despite the diligent efforts of the medical team, Corporal Tom's condition continued to deteriorate. Consequently, a medevac request was initiated, and a team of medical specialists from the Georgetown Public Hospital was dispatched to provide assistance. They were swiftly transported to the training school via the Bell 412 helicopter. Tragically, upon their arrival, all attempts to resuscitate Corporal Tom proved futile, and he was pronounced deceased at the scene. His body was subsequently transported to Georgetown for a post-mortem examination. In response to this devastating loss, the GDF announced plans to convene a board of inquiry to thoroughly investigate the circumstances surrounding Corporal Tom's untimely demise. Furthermore, his family has been duly informed of the incident. In a heartfelt expression of sympathy, Chief of Defense Staff Brigadier Omar Khan, alongside officers and ranks of the GDF, extend their deepest condolences to Corporal Tom's grieving family, friends, and colleagues during this difficult time. Man to face cybercrime charges for alleged child exploitation. Joshua Rambaran, a 28-year-old individual, is set to confront a series of cybercrime charges next week, stemming from accusations of persuading 2 minors, both under the age of 14, to transmit explicit photographs of themselves to him, subsequently shared online. The suspect's identification was disclosed by police headquarters following reports of child luring and the dissemination of child pornography, incidents that unfolded on March 27 and April 6, 2024. Investigations revealed that Rambaran allegedly engaged in grooming tactics to coax the minors into sending explicit images and videos to a Snapchat account. These materials were purportedly then shared within a Telegram group. Upon his apprehension, Rambaran underwent questioning by law enforcement authorities. Subsequently, a comprehensive file was compiled and forwarded to the Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, Chambers for Legal Counsel. Following review, the DPP's office recommended charging Rambaran with multiple offenses, including 5 counts of distributing child pornography via a computer system, as outlined in Section 14(1)(b) of the Cybercrime Act No. 16 of 2018. Additionally, charges encompass publishing obscene electronic data with the intent to demean another individual, child luring, and utilizing a computer system to coerce, harass, intimidate, and humiliate others, all in violation of pertinent sections of the Cybercrime Act 2018. Rambaran is slated to make a court appearance in the upcoming week to answer to these charges. Two men admit to murdering 52-year-old Ninawati Nandalal. In a shocking development, two men, aged 18 and 25, hailing from No. 0 village, Quarantine Burbus, have confessed to the heinous crimes of raping and murdering 52-year-old Ninawati Nandalal, known as Asharda, a domestic worker from the same village. The revelation came from Senior Superintendent Shivprasad Bacchus, the regional commander, on Friday evening. Nandalal's semi-nude body was discovered with multiple wounds in the Quarantine Back Dam on April 12, sending shockwaves through the community. Her son, 23-year-old Bajdev Narinadat, recounted the harrowing events leading up to the grim discovery. He revealed that his mother had left home around 12:30 hours on April 11 to pick mangoes in the back dam, just a short distance from their residence. Narinadat, a mechanic, explained that while he was at work, he received alarming news that his mother had not returned home, prompting him to launch a search effort. Describing the agonizing search process, Narinadat expressed the distress of discovering his mother's lifeless body. Was bare blood all over she face, she neck get one cut, she body half go down was naked, he recounted. The police were promptly alerted, and investigators were dispatched to the scene. Nandalal's body was recovered from the bushes and removed by undertakers. Narinadat painted a picture of his mother as a kind and friendly individual, deeply loved by her family and community. We want justice because the condition wami simi muma in it hurt me, he emphasized. The loss of Nandalal, who leaves behind two sons, a daughter, and numerous loved ones, has plunged the community into mourning. Investigations into the brutal crime are ongoing as authorities seek to bring those responsible to justice.